Guten Tag, meine Damen und Herren. Ich begrüße Sie herzlich zu meiner Präsentation. Ich möchte eine Datei über Kaffee in Indonesien erzählen.
Ich bin sehr glücklich, im Kaffee zu trinken. Ich trinke Kaffee 3 bis 6 Mal pro Tag. Einmal Freund, einmal Guan, wenn Kaffee ist schädlich für meine Gesundheit. Ob Vorteile und Nachteile Kaffee zu trinken für die Gesundheit? Kaffee hatte mehr als 500 chemische Verbindungen, das sind Koffeindol und Koffein. Koffeingehalt von Verbindungen in Kaffee ist schädlich. Kaffee als Ursache von Magengeschwüren, Herzerkrankungen, Nierenerkrankungen und Osteoporose. Kaffeevorteile sind Verbesserung der kognitiven Fähigkeit als Material Antioxidant. Trinken Kaffee kann das Risiko von Diabetes Typ 2 zu reduzieren. Kaffee kann helfen, Depressionen und überwinden. Kaffee kann eine Person sich wohlfühlen und glücklich. So verbrauchen nicht mehr als eine Tasse Kaffee pro Tag. Nicht zu verschiedenen kann Krankheit führen.
Every day, the world consumes 300 tons of caffeine, enough for 1 cup of coffee for every man, woman, and child. The world's largest buyer of coffee, the US, has to import nearly all of this, as the coffee trees from which caffeine is harvested will only grow at commercial levels between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn in an area called the Coffee Belt. Only a single state, Hawaii, is within this belt. However, the United States is only the largest buyer because it's so populous. The most enthusiastic coffee drinkers per capita are, in increasing order, the Netherlands, Denmark, Iceland, Norway, and, the world champions, Finland, where they drink 3 times as much coffee a day as the average American. All of these countries are outside the coffee belt and must import 100% of their caffeine supply. To get this caffeine, first bees must pollinate the flowers of a coffee tree, and these flowers develop into bright red berries. Unlike more cooperative domestic plants, the coffee tree does not ripen all its berries at the same time, so they need to be hand-picked and sorted. Once picked, the coffee bean is removed from inside the berry. This young seedling of the tree is then dried, heated, ground, and submersed in boiling water to get out the precious caffeine. It takes about 40 coffee beans to make 1 shot of espresso. But why is caffeine in the coffee beans in the first place? It's not like the coffee trees want to have humans cutting bits off of them and committing a holocaust of their offspring. Well, the trees, of course, don't want or feel anything. They originally evolved caffeine for their own benefit. Caffeine is an insecticide that effectively paralyzes or kills bugs chomping on the tree. Whether or not these insects go out experiencing the greatest caffeine high ever is not known. While caffeine is technically lethal, it's adapted for 1-gram bugs, not monkeys 100,000 times more massive, so you'd really have to try to win this Darwin Award. But, if you must, to calculate the dose of caffeine you'll need to ingest to have a 50% chance of death, take your mass in kilograms and multiply it by 150 milligrams. Or, in terms of coffee, for every kilogram of mass you have, you need to drink 1 latte to get a visit from the Grim Reaper. That's a lot of coffee, so it's not surprising that there are no recorded deaths in healthy adults from this method, and it's doubtful that it's even possible, because while you're busy getting coffee in, your body is busy getting it out by one way or another. The rare recorded deaths from caffeine are from diet pills, pet pills, and crazy people who eat the drug in its pure form. Poison though caffeine is, you do still develop an addiction to this stuff, and it's a real physiological addiction, not a wimpy psychological addiction like people claim for video games and the internet. But caffeine isn't heroin, rapid withdrawal won't kill you. It might make you cranky and give you a wicked headache, but since caffeine releases dopamine to make you happy and it gets rid of headaches, there's really no reason to ever stop using this stuff. And who would want to give it up anyway? I mean, aside from converts to Mormonism and Rastafarianism. Caffeine is the world's most used psychoactive drug, and with good reason. It's pure awesome. It increases concentration, decreases fatigue, and gives you better memory. And this isn't just a placebo, these are real effects replicable in a laboratory. And, contrary to popular belief, drinking coffee isn't a Faustian bargain where the devil gives you the ability to work faster, but in exchange makes your life shorter. For normal, healthy humans, there are no medical concerns. Coffee and the caffeine within it may even have medical benefits, such as protection from cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and Parkinson's. Caffeine can even get rid of migraines, but the amount required and the method of ingestion is uncomfortable. Moving right along. You know what else you can thank caffeine for? A little thing called the Enlightenment. In the 1600s, people drank more beer and gin than water, but with the introduction of coffee and tea, people switched from a depressant to a stimulant. It's not surprising then that this time was an intellectual boon compared to earlier centuries. Ben Franklin and Edward Lloyd loved their coffee for the same reason that modern workers and students do. It's invaluable for staying awake and concentrating when you need to finish a TPS report or get through that boring physics class. Coffee is the fuel of the modern world, so go grab a cup guilt-free and get working smarter and faster.
Danke für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit.